Imagine a world where everybody is connected. Imagine a world where somebody in Japan can do a transaction with somebody in the United States without high banking fees. Imagine a world no longer ruled by greedy corporate banks. There's going to become a time when we think of central banks in the same way we think about calling an operator to talk to a friend on the phone. This weird, annoying entity that came between us and the things we actually wanted. You aren't going to drown in fees anymore. You aren't going to borrow money from a bank. You aren't going to fight a half a dozen middlemen. It'll just be you and your money anywhere on earth. And once this happens, cryptocurrency could very well make the US dollar obsolete. Once people understand how easy this is and get used to it, the demand for legacy money controlled by a government and bank is going to plummet like a rock. Welcome to the world of cryptocurrency. All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning. I hope you guys had a great, fantastic week. This month is going to be moving by very fast. You realize we're just a few weeks away from Christmas and a few weeks away from a brand new year. So you guys getting ready for your New Year's resolutions and your plans. And first, before we even get into the new year, be thankful and grateful for this past year. As difficult as it might have been for some, it might have been great for others, but the fact that you're still alive, you're still breathing, you woke up this morning to be able to start a brand new day, and whatever visions and plans you have for the future, you still can make possible. So go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor who gives any type of financial advice. I read the news, give opinions, share suggestions, for entertainment and educational purposes only, and it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you take in the future. So for those of you who don't know me or are brand new, my name is Brandon Ivey from Los Angeles, California. I am the CEO and founder of Ivy League Crypto Academy, or ILCA for short. We are going on our 1-year anniversary next month, one whole year. So no, because of this schedule this month, there's not going to be a 5-day challenge at the end of December. It will be actually the first week of January. And at that time, we're also launching 3 new courses: decentralized finance, DeFi, NFTs, and metaverse. So I see all of you guys hopping on. We are streaming in multiple sources from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and also a direct link for StreamYard. StreamYard's doing something new. Interesting. I like this. So those of you who are here, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. And we have a special guest this morning. And this is a public crypto talk. Normally, we only do inner circle for my community. But every Saturday, this is a public crypto talk for everybody to at least keep the public informed on what's going on from a week-to-week basis. But we're going to do something different this morning. We have a special guest that I'm going to bring up. Before I bring him up, you know what we got to do? We got to take a look at the markets and see what the market is looking like, especially from week to week from last week. So let me share screen and let's take a quick look at what's taking place here. All right, so we've got the crypto market cap is at $895 billion. It is up 0.2% in the last 24 hours. Like I've been telling our inner circle, we keep hovering around that $900 billion mark, and it keeps touching it multiple times, and it hasn't been able to really break it. So whether it's the FTX scandal or what's going on in the world or Christmas time, we'll see how this plays out if it can break that $900 billion mark. We got Bitcoin dominance. Oh, this is rose. It was at 36%. Now it's at 37%. Ethereum's at 17.2%. Bitcoin is over 17,200. Has not regained its spot over 19,000 since FTX a couple of weeks ago. But it is green across all 3 boards: 1-hour chart, 24-hour, and 7-day. So since this is Saturday, you haven't seen a live crypto talk in a week. So we look at the past week. So in the past week, Bitcoin is up 0.8%. Ethereum is down 1.2%. BNB is down 1.2%. XRP is down 2.1%. Doge is down 5%. Cardano's down 1.5, Matic down 3.5, Polkadot down 5.8. So it's been a little bit of mix. Let's see over the last 7 days the best performers Frac Share, 27.4%. Axie Infinity, 20.5%. Stacks, 20%. OKC, 13. The Graph, 12. So these tokens had a pretty good week. Even Trust Wallet is still up there. Who's had a bad week? BTSE token, 1 inch, Chili's, Osmosis, Tokenized Exchange. They were on a run, but it's just been downhill ever since. Chainlink, Quant, Lido DAO, Flow, Huobi, Airweave, Data Network, Chain, Polkadot. All right. Been mixture. So we'll take a look at this again when we do Crypto Talk on Monday morning, or for you founding members on tonight's call. All right, so now I want to get into this interview here. Now, I'm very excited to bring this gentleman up. This is a gentleman that I've known for a couple of years. In fact, he's been in crypto longer than I have. He's made a lot of money in this space. And when we did our very first Bitcoin boot camp, this gentleman was actually one of the educators. And when we created the first crypto educational videos, he actually recorded some of those training videos. And he was with us in Chicago when we did that very first Bitcoin boot camp. We also did one in Seattle. And so I used to call him the Oracle when it came to crypto, because he had a sense. It's like he had a second sense of knowing what the market was going to do and when, and always had the right timing. You know, I like to say I'm about 75% right in crypto, but what I'm wrong is the timing. I can get the timing off, and he always seemed to get that timing right on. Now, he's been out, or I won't say out. He's been behind the scenes in the lab for the past year off of social media, and he's been creating something, solving a solution to a problem. And what is that problem? I'm going to have him describe it to you guys in detail, but you guys know I've been doing a series called The Crypto Financial Storm is Coming, that most people are going to lose most, if not all, of their crypto in the next 3 to 5, maybe up to 10 years. And it's not because crypto's bad. It's because they lack the knowledge and education on how to keep their crypto safe, how to avoid some of the biggest pitfalls that most new people and old people face in this space that neglect to get crypto educated. It can be the little things that cost you thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in some cases, millions of dollars. Even Kevin O'Leary just admitted he lost $15 million with FTX on something, one rule that we've been preaching since day one. Do not keep all your crypto on an exchange that you're not going to be trading with. Little things like that. But another major thing is security. Security. People have to understand, when you're in crypto, you are responsible for your own tokens. And most people don't know how to accept that responsibility or what that entails. And you think that you wrote your private keys and you think that you're good to go. Well, I want to bring up the CEO of Crypto Backup, Mr. Rob Harris. Rob, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Well, let me tell everybody, me and Rob, you know, we are on opposite ends of the spectrum, but we do speak the same language when it comes to crypto. Crypto's based on math. And I have a lot of respect for this gentleman. He's created a company that is offering a service to help you guys secure your crypto. So I want to turn the mic on over to Rob to go ahead and let us know. Rob, first tell us a little bit about you, your background, why you got into crypto in the first place, why you decided to create your company. You know, you saw a need for it, and show us what you have and how this is going to work for everybody.
Yeah. First, I want to say I have a lot of respect for you, Brandon, and creating your own company, launching this educational company that you did on your own is pretty amazing. So for me, my story goes back to 2012, technically. I remember hearing Bitcoin on the radio. And when I first heard about Bitcoin, I couldn't visualize what it was. I thought it was a company that was trying to launch their own digital currency. And I just thought to myself, well, that's stupid. That's not going to work. So, I put it on my mind. And then at the end of 2013, I remember seeing an article talking about Bitcoin up 5,000%. And my heart started racing. I'm like, what? And when I looked into it, I found an article that said Bitcoin is the greatest invention since the combustible engine. And when I read that, I thought, wow. And that's when I started doing a deep dive. And at that time, I just finished going to school, learning how to build computers. So my first thing I wanted to do was build a mining rig. That whole idea of mining Bitcoin sounded pretty amazing. But I did enough research at that time to realize, okay, there's another cryptocurrency called Litecoin. And realistically, that's going to be an easier coin to mine. And that's what I started mining was Litecoin. And then after a couple of months, I used an exchange to convert my Litecoin into Bitcoin, which is what I really wanted. But I was smart to know that I needed to hold on to those 12 words. So I went to, there was a website, I think it was like bitcoinpaperwallet.com. And I printed off a paper wallet, and I transferred my Bitcoin out of the exchange onto the paper wallet, laminated it, and put it in my desk drawer and let it sit there for a couple of years. And that was my first experience getting into crypto. And thankfully, I held on to my keys because not long after I did that whole process, there was a large exchange called Mt. Gox that collapsed. And everybody that had their cryptocurrency tied up in Mt. Gox, at least for a long period of time, were I don't want to use any curse words, but they were in bad shape. So now moving forward, I know a few people who've had bad situations in crypto where their house caught on fire. Thankfully, I know one of them, she literally ran out of the door with her laptop in her hands. So luckily she was home. So she was able to get that. But she was in that Santa Barbara fire. And I have another friend in Seattle who, during the holidays, he went on vacation and his Christmas tree caught the house on fire because of the cord. There was a bad cord with one of those little switch things on there, and it started to flame, and it caught the house on fire. Luckily, his fire wasn't as bad as my other friend, and but the risk was there. You know, if the whole house would have burnt down and he had his 12 words written on a piece of paper, would have lost everything. And then I have a family member who gave her laptop away, and then couldn't find those 12 words in her office. So searched everywhere, and you know, and I'm sure it's somewhere, hopefully, unless it got tossed away or shredded. But luckily, the person she gave her laptop away was her daughter. So she was able to get her laptop back. Thankfully, her daughter didn't wipe the computer clean, and Exodus was still on there. And she remembered the password. That was the only way she was able to recover thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency. And those things make me nervous, especially when it's family that I got into crypto, and it didn't matter how much I stressed. Okay, write these 12 words down, laminate it, put it in a safe place where you're not going to lose it. She still lost it. So I wanted to create something, and I'm new to StreamYard, so I'll share my screen. But do I hit?
Hit present. Yeah, okay. Present,
and then share screen.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Let me know if you can see it on your end.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay, I got it. Can you see?
There we go. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I'd bought this domain name a few years back, cryptobackup.com, and I knew I wanted to do something. It took me a while to figure out exactly the product I was going to end up creating, but I knew I liked the stainless steel capsules. I tried many different products out in the market. There's some where you have to put individual letters one by one into a capsule. And I went to a review site where they reviewed over 100 different products. And the ones that got the highest reviews were the ones that use metal stamps, where you can actually stamp in. I'm going to scroll down real quick so you can see this. But this is what I created. And I bought a few different 3D printers. I made a bunch of different prototypes. And I finally came up with this. And I wanted something to where you could technically do this one-handed. I wanted to make sure that my wife was comfortable doing this on her own. And I tried to visualize all the different people that might be trying to do this. So technically, if you want to do it one-handed, this is designed so you can do that. If you want to use two hands, for me, I've stamped so many of these stainless steel washers over the past couple months that it's quick and easy with two hands. But you can do it either way. And these stainless steel washers that I created are custom. They're 2 millimeters thick, and I designed them so that you can stamp on the front side and you can stamp on the back side. And there's 12 of them that come in each capsule. But the nice thing is, so you're either going to have 12 words or 24 words. If you have 24, then you could stamp both sides and put one private key inside of a stainless steel capsule. But if you got 12 words and you have two different wallets, you can stamp one side with one wallet and stamp the back side with the other 12 words. And I made it to where there's 3 places on top. So if you're doing 2, use the letter B and then number it 1 through 12 and put your words on it. But yeah, this was a fun project for me to build and create. I put this whole kit together. You're going to see there's a bunch of different things in here, but also made it to where you can paint the letters. And let me go back down real quick. So there's an enamel black marker, and it just makes the letters pop out. I think it looks cleaner and nice done that way, but it's not required. But this is the total kit. My goal was to get around $100, but I wanted to use high quality. The most expensive part of this kit are those metal stamps. I must have tried a dozen different versions, but these ones, they're super high quality. They have letters showing you, so that way you know which direction you need to face it, and they're not greasy. Half of the ones that I got, you take them out of the box and they leave grease all over your hands. These are not like that. These are clean, high quality metal stamps. But if you wanted to go here, click through the website. I put my story on here so you can learn a bit about my history, which technically I've shared most of it. I have a how to set up video tutorial so you can see how to set this up. It's very straightforward. And then for everybody that's watching, I created a special discount code, Ivey, IVEY, and you'll save 10%. So, and there's free shipping in the United States. So if you live in the USA, free shipping, it'll bring the cost down to about $98.10 if you put an Ivey as you're checking out. You just go to the checkout, there's a discount box, and then you just type in IVEY. And that's pretty much, yeah, what I've created. I don't know if you have any questions, Brandon. I'm going to stop sharing the screen real quick, and yeah, should be back.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I've been around for a while, and I have not seen anything like that. Most people, when they talk about security, they always talk about, yeah, make sure you've got your private key. But most never talk about, okay, now that you've got your private key, what do you do with them? Should you make 2 copies? Should you hold them at an undisclosed location? Should you bury it in the backyard? What happens if your house burns down? So you've basically solved all of that. So if somebody has a ledger or a treasure wallet, and that's one thing of storing that, but it's another having your private key. Where would you suggest people store these?
Well, there's many different ways you can approach that, because depending on your situation, who you share your living space with, who has access to certain parts of your house. I would like to think a safe is a great place, but then again, you might have some better idea for where to keep it. You just want to make sure that you know where it is. You're not going to forget it. And also consider the idea, if you're married and if something happens to you, that your spouse knows how to get access to it. There's one other thing too, is the problem with most wallets is if somebody comes across it, but say you share a house with roommates, or just some people unfortunately, there's situations where you might not be able to trust everybody that you're living with. If you don't have an anti-tamper, for example, I also created a custom anti-tamper sticker, and you can put it on here. And once it's on here, if someone tries to peel it off, you'll know. So you
Okay.
can store this somewhere, and you can also have reassurance that nobody has peeked inside and written these 12 words down. So there's that additional layer of security. But hopefully that shouldn't be a concern with wherever you're keeping it. But there really isn't a one all be all answer on that. It's different for everybody's situation. So just make sure you
Absolutely.
know where it's being kept and you don't lose it.
Well,
So
I've got
I
my
would like
kit
to
right
think a
here.
safe would be a good place, though.
Safe. Okay. I've got my kit right here. I can't wait to play with it. I've got my box, all the ingredients in it to work this out. And I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. And thank you, Rob, for even coming up with that. And George is right. Said I could see an episode on Shark Tank. I think you can do. You're gonna be able to scale this up and do big things with this. And but while I've got you, because you are I consider it a crypto expert. You've been around from the different phases of crypto. When I say phases, I'm talking about the different halving events from the 2012 halving, the 2016 halving, the 2020 halving. And each halving, there's always different era of crypto. And now we're in this new era. We're coming into 2023. What do you see the future of the crypto industry, and what do you think is kind of like some of the hot things that we should be paying attention to?
Yeah, we are getting into Web3, and so I've been off of Facebook for about a year, and I've spent quite a bit of that time in Discord, participating in some pretty big cryptocurrency projects. I'll I feel good about just mentioning one of them. One of them is Gala Games, and they've also got Gala Music and Gala Film, and so they're going after the entertainment industry. They have big partnerships with Universal, Snoop Dogg. I actually got to go to his place down in LA a couple months ago and see Snoop with a small group of us, and that was amazing. So I'm excited about that. Now we're going to go through a period of time where regulations I see happening next year rolling out. Some of the things I'm concerned about, and I'm sure you and I are on the same page, is central bank digital currencies. I see the one positive would be it helps legitimize this whole industry. And I guess I don't really want to dive too deep in CBDCs. I just have overall concerns of our freedom and what that means. But outside of CBDCs, with the rest of the crypto market, I see big things happening. You just need to make sure you're picking the right projects, and that these projects are well funded on their own separately. They're not just being funded by investors, and hopefully they shouldn't be funded by investors at all. I mean, I say retail investors, those that are buying the coins. They should have their own private, separate money that is funding everything. Which like Ripple, the company, that they have their own private investors separate from those who bought XRP. They didn't build what they built just because people bought the XRP coin. Same thing with Gala. And those are only two companies I feel okay plugging. But the Ripple thing actually is a big thing to pay attention to in 2023, because they have a battle going on with the SEC. Mm-hmm. And that's going to have a huge impact on the entire crypto space, depending on how that ends up. And I'm suspecting between now and March, by March, I believe the SEC Ripple case will be over. Maybe sooner than that, but I'd say March at the latest is what it's looking like right now. So as far as where we're at, 2023, I feel like we're going to hit a bottom. I don't know exactly when, but at some point, maybe by summer, we'll have reached a bottom for this current cycle, and then we should be in accumulation phase and moving all up as we get to the next halving for Bitcoin, which I believe isn't that March of 2024, around there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, and then typically within 6 months after the halving is when Bitcoin goes up to new highs. And I would say we want to be keeping an eye on as we're going back up. At some point in 2025, if the pattern repeats, we should reach another peak in 2025. And you want to make sure you're, I guess, pulling profits along the way up, so you're not caught up here and then having to wait. But this
mentioned...
next one's going to be different because it's the I guess you could say the super cycle is what I believe we're going to experience next, because then we're hitting mass adoption. As soon as these CBDCs roll out, it's going to legitimize this whole industry, and as soon as regulations are in place, then we're going to start to see the real money come into the crypto space, something like we've never seen before. So that's what I think is coming up next.
Well, you mentioned Ripple. Do you believe that because of the SEC, Ripple has been kind of depressed in its price, never reaching its all-time high from 2017 and 18? Do you think that this case, after sometime by March or before, when that's settled, Ripple is ready to explode?
Yeah, I like to think that it's like a beach ball being held underwater, and as soon as you let go of it, then you release that pressure. I'm sure there's a bunch of, especially in the banking industry, banks that want to utilize what Ripple has created, and they're just waiting on the SEC, because no banks want to mess with anything that's in the middle of a lawsuit with the SEC. Right. Even outside the United States, I'm sure there's some that are holding back, just waiting to see what happens with this case. I feel pretty confident it's going to work out fine for Ripple, and this is going to create the new Howey test. So it'll be the Ripple test for the entire cryptocurrency space. Did they have an ICO? Did they do this? Which Ripple did not. In fact, what's interesting is all the things that, the arguments with SEC, when you look at Ethereum, Ethereum had an ICO. Ethereum raised $14 million. You had Vitalik in Florida, I believe what was it, the end of 2014, early 2015, up on stage talking about, investing in us. You're investing in the company, basically, and promising an ROI and all those type of things. And how come they get a pass is what it has sounded like, but maybe not. Maybe that's what the SEC is really thinking of going after next. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just saying 2023 is going to be that year where regulations kick into place. And, there was a comment made by the former head of the SEC that, and I believe the saying was, okay, yes, it started off as a security referring to Ethereum, but it isn't now. It's decentralized. So maybe there will be some type of pass for, and there should be, because they didn't provide clarity back then. And we're just going to see what happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was one more Black Swan type of event, and it could be with the announcements of regulations. And if that happens, then that just creates another good buying opportunity if we can see things dip a little bit lower than what they are today. But I think that'll be short-lived because it's going to be looked at as an opportunity. What? Bitcoin, $12,000? Great. So I wouldn't be disappointed to see that because it's going to be short-term.
Well, Rob, I want to say thank you for being here with us today and sharing your knowledge and information, and with your new company. I'm putting up the link right here. That is correct. CryptoBackup.com. And then on exit on the cart, just put in promo my last name Ivy for Ivy League Crypto Academy. Just put in Ivy and you get 10% off. I've got my kit right here. I can't wait to play with it. And so, Mr. Harris, thank you very much for being with us this morning, sharing your knowledge, information. I would love to be having you back periodically, especially in 2023, as we keep going on and even getting your product out there even more. So, everybody else, say wave to Rob. Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you later, Rob.
Okay. See ya. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Well, I hope you gained some information and knowledge. Like I said, I call Mr. Harris the Oracle. He gave some, and I did that for a reason. I asked him some questions because I wanted to hear his thought process and his dates for things taking place to see if it coincides with mine. I didn't have an idea when the Ripple case would be complete. So he's talking about March or sooner. So that's a good 3 months you have to accumulate. If you're accumulating Ripple, or if you haven't, you might want to have that in your portfolio before then. Also, I wanted to hear, he believes that the whole crypto winter is going to be going until the summertime. And can I post the link? Yes. Well, it is. I don't know which group you're in, Mike. I see you on Facebook, but I don't know which Facebook group. But you see it on my screen right here. CryptoBackup.com, promo Ivy. CryptoBackup.com, promo Ivy. And he was talking about the crypto winter should last probably all the way up to the summertime. We'll see how regulations take place. But what did he say? He said the next cycle is going to be a super cycle. So after every halving, remember Morehouse professor Oscar Sistron talked about that. He's looking at the year 2025, the next halving. So am I. But what Mr. Harris just said, he's talking about it being a super cycle. We haven't had a super cycle yet. Super cycle. I like that. It's like a super hurricane that's coming. But we've got to be prepared for it. You've got to have your portfolio in place. He also says something else too. I like this. I caught this. After the regulation and after the second the summertime 2023, we enter accumulation mode. Accumulation mode, which means you've got, if we're doing the math right, September through the rest of 2023, September, October, November, December. You got 4 months there. Then you've got January, February, March. And around March and April is when the next Bitcoin halving is going to take place. That's 8 months. Then after that, you got about 6 months before the next boom explosion happens. 6 months. So that puts it near the end of 2024, which goes into November, December, and traditionally, Bitcoin has reached new highs in the months of November and December. So he's looking at the end of 2024 going into 2025. That's around the same time period that I have also plotted out. So now that means we have a good year and a half to accumulate as much as possible to build your crypto portfolio as big as possible to take advantage of that super cycle so that you entered it when the rocket ship is still on deck instead of getting on the FOMO of it after it's taken off and everybody is now buying at the new high when we're talking $100,000 or more. So we've got a little bit of time, not that much, because time's going to go by fast, which means I have a couple of announcements. So tonight we are doing a special founders call. Those of you that are founding members of ILCA, you bought all my courses. We have a class tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be covering how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We did a lesson earlier this week. And tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, same time, we're going to be doing an ILCA presentation. That'll be a presentation. I got to think if I want to move that from, because I have a Zoom link for it, but I might move it to be doing it through StreamYard, like I'm doing this right here. So I might move that to StreamYard, and you'll have a link for that. But no, but you guys need to have a link that you can promote it with. I'll keep it on the Zoom for now. I'll keep it on Zoom for now. I can still stream publicly. And then Monday, we start our cycle all over again of the inner circle for Monday morning. So those of you who want to be in the inner circle, I mean, it pays to be in the inner circle. You do crypto talks like this every day of the week except for Friday. Right now, we have a discount going on. It is $29 a month to be in our inner circle. The price goes up January 1st for those who don't get it now. If you get it now at $29, you're grandfathered in. But January 1st, it goes to $49 for all new people. So you want to bid it before then, so you'll be paying just $29 next year as well. So we've got the inner circle. And then next Saturday, I'm going to be doing another interview like this one, only I'm going to be interviewing the developers of a brand new project that is about to launch, and it is going to take the world by storm. It is a new metaverse project that has from metaverse and tokens and nodes. I call it kind of like Gala on steroids for what they're doing. And so I'm going to interview those developers next Saturday, the 17th, December 17th, Saturday morning, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And this has me so excited that I'm actually getting off the bench. What do I mean by that? Well, for the past year, the only thing that I have been really focusing on a building aspect has been my company, Ivy League Crypto Academy, teaching crypto education. But the timing is what I'm doing and what they're doing matches perfectly. What am I dropping on January 1st? 3 new courses, DeFi, NFTs, and Metaverse. In fact, there's going to be 2 courses on the Metaverse. Metaverse Part 1 and then Metaverse Part 2. Metaverse Part 2 will come later. So it'll be more than 30 videos of Metaverse. But Metaverse Part 1, now think about it, I might do more for Metaverse Part 2 as it's a standalone. See, Metaverse Part 1 is part of the whole package. Bitcoin 101, advanced crypto, how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, Internet of Things, DeFi, NFTs, and Metaverse Part 1. And then there's going to be a whole nother series after that. So it'll be Metaverse Part 2. I'll be having a whole series on CBDCs and a whole bunch of other topics. Any topics I want to think of, we'll have on the next version that will be coming out in 2023. So we've got Metaverse launching on January 1st because I believe that the future of any type of opportunities is going to be all pointed in the direction of metaverse, which means they're going to be using smart contracts, and DeFi and NFTs is going to be part of that ecosystem. Every single bank in the world, most governments, every business is either in the research or development stage of having their presence in the metaverse. That is the future. What version of it? That's still up for grabs. This is still the wild, wild west. There is not going to be just one metaverse. There's many different projects dealing with the metaverse that we're going to be engaged in, from Facebook's Meta. We've got G-Meta 1, who's launching. I don't know if you guys saw that they did earlier today. They're coming out with something fantastic. You got Decentraland, you've got Sandbox, you've got Voxels, even Gala. There's a whole gaming aspect of this, but I'm looking even beyond the gaming aspect of it, something much, much bigger. It is Web 3. In fact, I'll have a course called Web 3 coming out next year as well. So, but this one is coming out and it's allowing you to build in it. And I've been on the bench for the last year and a half or so. I haven't built in. Wow. And I've come to think of it, maybe two years. Maybe going on 2 years since I've actually really built something with my partners. So my partners and I, we're coming back together. We're bringing some of our old band back together from the Sherlock days. You guys remember Shopping Sherlock or Sherlock Nation? And those of you who are a part of those days, that band is kind of getting back together. But next Saturday, I'll be interviewing so you can see what the project is, what the technology is, what they're doing, and they're in soft launch. I think they may have the ability to sign up by next Saturday. Nobody has signed up. There's nobody in the system, but it is all about positioning. So, and I won't be saying the name of this until next week sometime, and I'll be having private meetings. So anybody that would like to be on that list, and this is one of those things where positioning and timing is important. Send me a private message. I'll put you on the list. But before you send me a message, and let me make this clear since this is public, there are a lot of people out there that get a little nervous when I make a certain move. And I've been Switzerland for the past year and a half or so. So nothing is going to change on this aspect. If you, however you met me or know me, you go back to that person and you ask them first if they have any interest or if they're going to be involved in what I'm doing. So before you come to me asking to put you on my list or anything like that, go back to that person that introduced you to me and ILCA and ask them first. I won't be putting any links out there publicly, so people think that I'm cross recruiting or I'm stealing somebody's people. First and foremost, I've learned a lesson in this industry. Nobody belongs to you. All I do is share what I'm excited about, an extended invitation. I won't be going in people's inboxes and trying to recruit anybody into anything. As a matter of fact, even though this coincides with what I have with ILCA, I will be creating a separate Telegram group, and anything with this is going to be run out of the ILCA group page, not the 5-day challenge. I'm talking about my original educational community before I created ILCA. So we're going to keep that part of it a little separate. So there's not going to be in our Telegram group running our mouths talking about this. That's going to be separate. So, and it's not for everybody. Not everybody is ready for the metaverse yet. Not everybody is a gamer. Not everybody is ready to do mining and nodes and all that blockchain stuff. And that's okay. I'm just letting you know what I'm going to be doing. And since I'm coming off the bench, we're going to do it big. I don't half-ass step anything. If I'm going to do something, I do it. So we've got a lot of great things taking place. In another hour and 15 minutes, I will be on a call with one of my clients called WCL. That is another project that just launched a token called Fin that was the most successful token launch in the last 6 months because they happened to launch it at the absolutely worst time. The worst time in the middle of the FTX drama and everybody losing their money, everybody getting scared. And it was a success. It came out at 50 cents, went up to $20, and now it's sitting at, what's the price right now? I think $9 or something. I'll double check, but it's sitting at $9. And so a lot of us that were a part of that project, our value of what we were holding was 6 figures and more. Mine was 6 figures. Some others was 7 figures. It's $9.29 right now. So yeah, I've got a 6-figure holding of this token, the Fin token. How do you get your hands on Fin? Well, you can either mine it by buying nodes, or you can go to L Bank and trade it and buy it with USDT. Those 2 ways. If you're interested on learning how to get it from the node, then that call is coming up in an hour and 15 minutes. I am the official crypto educator of that company and that project. So I'll be speaking that too. So send me a private message if you don't know that link, if you want to be on that type of a Zoom as well. So I've got something. I mean, I'm excited. I have a little overwhelmed as well. We got so much work to do in so little time, but this is exciting, getting ready for 2023. And I extend an invitation for all of you to come on this road. But as always, education is key. Education is everything. That needs to be first. If you want to get into crypto and you say, I got 20,000, 50,000, you say, I only have $500 or $50. I got started with $30. Oh, this is a good opportunity for me. Share this. For those of you who don't know my story, I say this. I got started with $30 in crypto and I started to trade. I learned the skill of trading and I traded the $30 and I flipped it to 6 figures in 3.5 months. How in the world did I do that? Well, with my inner circle, I'm reproducing that. I'm doing it again live. For example, I started $89, okay? $89, and I bought Fin. $89. Let me pull up. And I've been trading. I've been doing something I don't normally do because I used to day trade from 2017 and 18, and it didn't fit my style, so I stopped. But I'm getting back into it, a modified version of it, and just to show you some results. This is another reason why you want to be a part of our community. We teach you a skill set. People want to get in programs where they're promising 3% a day or 3% a week. Once you learn the skill, you can do better than that. I've done, let's do this, 400 since November 16th, 420%, 537%, 14%, 5%, 5%, 14, 15, 4%, 9%, 8, 35%, 27%, 17%, 5, 19%, 7%. Do you see any red here? I don't do negative. All right. I don't do losses. You only lose when you sell, which means I don't sell for a loss. I sit on it and I just do other trades. So this skill set I've been doing live with our inner circle. What is the result? The result is from $89. And I just want you to think, what if I was started off with 1,000? From $89 to $2,200 in 2.5 weeks. Just think about that for a second. $89 to $2,200 in 2.5 weeks. And then here's what I did back then. I took, after starting with $30, I took $700 and I put it on an ICO back then. And I'll tell you exactly who it was. It was called Electronium. It was a new coin coming out. They were calling themselves, it was based out of the UK, and they were calling themselves the mobile version of Bitcoin. They wanted to have this mobile wallet. They wanted to do mining from your phone with the whole thing. And that ICO, when did I get in on that? I think October or November of 2017. January 2018. Remember, I only put 700 on it. Then I made more than $60,000 in one day when I sold it. $60,000 in one day. But my education allowed me, because a lot of people who would have made millions off of that didn't know when to get out. And they held their coins and it went all the way down to like 0.003 cents. And they didn't make anything. So my education helped me. So then that's 60,000. But I had already made 100,000 by this point, but that was just an example. Another thing that I did is I took, another $1,000 or $2,000 from me trading. And I took that and I put it in on a new project that was launching. That project got to the point where I was making almost about $2,000 a day. Okay. So you see, I started with 30. And then I flipped it. So here I started with 89. I flipped it to 2,200. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take money from this. I'm going to put it on the Metaverse project that I'm going to show you next Saturday. And then I'm going to flip that to 7 figures. That's how you do it. And I came out of no money came out of my pocket. Because where did I get the $89? I sold a token called NewGen for $89, and I used that to buy Fin. And then I've been trading on Fin, and not just Fin. I've been trading on multiple different tokens. These are the tokens I've been coming in and out on, flipping it up. Education. is the reason. Being a part of our ILCA community, it pays. I can do this by myself, or I can turn on the camera and do it with you guys, and you guys come on the journey with me. It pays to be a part of our community. So if you are not a part of our community, there's two things you can do. First, you can register for our next 5-day challenge, which is going to be the first week of January. ILCAchallenge.com. ILCAchallenge.com. And let me put that up on the screen here. ILCAchallenge.com. That'll register you for the next 5-day challenge. Then, if you want to be a part of our inner circle, where we cover crypto talk on a daily basis, then you want to go to ILCAsecrets.com. ILCAsecrets.com and register so you can be there on Monday morning when we start it up again. Those of you who want the educational courses, call it the box set, more than 100 videos. We just finished a Black Friday and Cyber Monday special, but I still have a promo going on right now till the end of the year. You can get all of these. Let me pull this up. You can get all of my courses if you go to ILCAfounders.com. ILCAfounders.com. Let me show you what's going to happen. Regular price is $2,997. If you are a VIP member, which means you signed up with our 5-day challenge, you can get it for $997. And this ends at the end of the year. Because on January 1st, the price goes to $1,495. So you still have a promo, getting it for $500 less for $997. If you do this before the end of the year, we also have a payment plan. So for those of you who say, well, Brandon, Christmas is coming up, and you know, I gotta get gifts, I gotta pay bills. Trust me, I understand. The best thing you can do is invest in your own education. But I've got a payment plan here, 2-month plan and a 3-month plan, so that you can get in the system, and you will get all 7 of my courses by doing that. So just go to ILCAfounders.com to become a founding member. ILCAfounders.com. And then for those of you who say, well, Brandon, you're getting off the bench, I want to roll with you. Okay, send me a private message and I'll put you on the list. I'll be having some private meetings this upcoming week to inform some key people, make sure people are getting positioned, and then we will have that interview next Saturday. Sue, where can we go to renew our ILCA options? That's a very good question. That will be happening within the next 2 weeks. Then I will be having another special call, and it will be with my CMO, Mr. James Hendricks, and we will break down what the new pricing and the packages are and where to go to register for that. Yeah, you definitely want to be ready before January 1st for that. All right, everybody, that is it for Crypto Talk for today. I hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. I'm going to be playing with my new special kit on how to protect my keys, my private keys. And that is everything. So enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you founding members tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.